Hey Gemini, welcome to your reading. Hey, my name is Kelly Lunt. I'm an intuitive channel, medium, and law of attraction expert here to bring you your reading. If you guys want to meet your own spirit guide or master the law of attraction, I put together a free meditation to take you on a journey to the Temple of Masters to meet your spirit guide. And I also put together a free mini manifesting course explaining all 5 steps of law of attraction. So you could just click there, download them for free. But let's get into your reading, Gemini. So your theme right now, the bigger thing that like your theme that you're going through right now, your personal growth is getting out of your head, trying to figure it all out and going with the flow that the universe has delivered to you. How do you get into the flow and in alignment so that good things are just coming to you without overthinking it? So there's a little bit of like step one, you got to get out of your head and anxiety, overthinking, trying to do step two, having control of the manifestation. Step two is the universe's job. Step one, you do the ask. Step two, the universe aligns stuff. Step three, you receive. You either receive the end goal or you receive your next step. Step four, you're so good at receiving that it's ask, receive, ask, receive. You're just in this synchronistic flow of life. Step five is vibrational contrast. How do you navigate it so that you keep manifesting? So you have to get out of your head, which is you're either in step five or you're trying to do step two, which is the universe's job. And you have to get into the flow and receive. And how to get into the receptive mode is as simply as what is it that you want? What are the signs that it's already on its way? Like I want the husband. Well, hey, communication is getting easier. My relationships with other people are getting more peaceful. I'm starting to notice nothing but happy couples when I'm out and about. You're now in the receptive mode. It's as simple as that to get into the receptive mode. But the other part of that is how do you like relax and enjoy good things coming to you when others around you aren't necessarily enjoying the good feeling things? Um, that's going to be the bigger one for you because I already answered your first part. So it's the best advice I could give you is that you don't need to understand why people chose or why people are living life the way that they're living. It really is their choice. There's like 3 levels of consciousness. From the author I read this, he described it as 3 levels of masculine levels of consciousness. I think it applies to feminine too. The first step is like that innocent youth. You have a wild, vivid imagination in your head, and you're like, "Let's go play ponies on the field. Play make believe with me, Dad. You're the monster. I'm the pretty princess." Right? You just have that youthful glee and that wild imagination. Step two is the complicated phase, which is where you're at, which is where most of Western society is. We just complicate everything. Let's not call our friends and say, hey, do you want to hang out? Let's like send a Google Calendar invite and text and then worry, did we word it just right or not? Did we come from a position of power? Okay, that's the complicated bullshit that none of us need. Many people here will want to reverse back to childhood. I want the good old days. I want that happiness, that enthusiasm, the eagerness I used to have. The problem is you can't recreate that. Once you exit it, once you recognize my actions have an impact on the world, you're out of your youthful phase and you can't go back, right? Because part of that youthfulness is like coming in with that laughter and ha ha ha, and you say something dumb and everyone just forgives you because you're young. But once you're older and you start realizing it all, like you can't go back. It's called innocence, naive. You're now not naive. So the key is to get to the third step, which is like Satori, Zen, enlightenment. And that's where you make peace with the fact that you can't control a lot of things. The complicated man will be worrying about the wars around the world, the starving, the yada yada. Satori is my heart does go to those people. I want them to be alive and doing well. But right now, in my immediate environment, here's what's going on. And the example in the book was Mother Teresa. There was, the Western reporter man going, Mother Teresa, this is just horrible. There's 10,000 refugees coming over the border. How will they all eat? How will they all be fed? And she was holding, a toddler in her arms, feeding the toddler. She's like, no, not so bad. The toddler took her first bite of milk since being in my arms. She's gonna be okay. So Satori is like, what's in my control, what's out of it, and if it's out of your control, like you kind of just don't think about it. I know that might sound cold-hearted, but how do you focus on here now and on your neighbor and on, okay, so I think you guys get it. And so how this is playing out in your day-to-day, yeah, it honestly just looks like in your day-to-day, Gemini, you're just a little distracted, right? Look at that. That's a group of 3 people being merry playing, and but there's one person like looking back, like, but what about that? What if I didn't turn the last stone? What if I didn't try my hardest? What if I didn't wait until they were in a good mood to tell them what I needed to hear them? Or what if there's something that I need to learn and then I realize, oh, had I learned this earlier, the relationship could have worked. But you already have like your friends pulling you forward and like, okay, and so that's honestly like also one of the biggest signs of trauma that people don't talk about. Like disassociation is a huge one. If you're disassociating, there's unhealed trauma. But there's also the fawn. When people harm you, wrong you, and you try to make them feel better about it, or when you try to teach someone how to treat you in relationship. Hey, I don't think you're aware, but when you didn't call me back, I downward spiraled, and what I need out of a relationship is I need consistent communication so that I feel loved. That you're having a trauma response. You're trying to teach someone how to treat you in relationship, and like they know, um, they know. That kind of took a deep turn, Gemini. So it's, do you want to live the life of in your head fawning trauma response, or do you want to just go with the flow and go, okay, universe, who's someone that I can be in a healthy relationship with? Or if it's not a relationship you're manifesting, who are the clients that I could be in a healthy co-working relationship with? Where's the place of employment where it feels uplifting, good, celebration, encouragement? So it's kind of like that teeter-totter, like, sure, trauma healing is good for a while, but then at some point you just have to start choosing the new people, start choosing the new environments. Okay, because it kind of looks like in your recent past, there was a little bit of a focus on, it's like you were trying to simplify your life by going after the money, by going after the prestige. And you were just focused on like, if I could just get that title, if I could just get to this money amount, then I could relax. If I could just get her to marry me, it's like, if I could just get this, then I can relax and feel good. But like, yeah, it just quickened up the pace in your life and made you feel busy, made you feel like you were doing stuff and doing good things. It did make you feel alive and like a spark. But all I can tell you is whatever happened, because from that to the now energy, it goes to the 2 of trees, which is the soft, gentle, budding relationship, which is the harmonious one. It may not be that sexy vixen girl or that stud of a man, that, the vivacious, hourly, curvy girl or that 6-foot tall man, but it's gonna have harmony to it. Like you're starting to just put more emphasis on, oh, Gemini, you're just worried you're not good enough. You're worried you don't bring enough to the table. And that's why you were trying to achieve that so you could then be a good enough partner. And if it's not relationships you're going for, then it would be a good enough employee. Okay. You're trying to get that extra certificate to then I'll get hired for the VP role. But you're really just starting to recognize that it's not so much about the title, the prestige, that it's like, I want it to be a little more simple and a little bit more focused on like harmony, compatible goals, compatible desires, compatible end goals. So you're just kind of starting to like leave the chaos, and it's law of attraction. So law of attraction, if there's momentum built up on something negative, you lessen it. So now you're just aware of like, you know what, I was actually just afraid that no one would want me if this was my title, or if this was my how much money I made. I like a woman like that would want a man like this. So now instead of it letting it be like something that's consuming you, that you're like driving towards, you're switching into, okay, I'm aware of that fear, I'm aware of that thought. Let's see how it goes. See, going into the near future. This is just going to be something that you're grappling with for a while as you come to self-acceptance and go, there is a beautiful woman, a gorgeous man out there for me. And like, if you want love, and I'm pretty sure this is a love reading for you guys. There's a lot of love cards here. You have to switch from that personal development, from that constant achieve, into a state of self-acceptance. Like, I accept that there are some things I'm good at and some things that I'm bad at. And so universe matched me with the person who loves all the things that I'm good at, and they like don't even need the things that I'm bad at. Or maybe that's what they bring to the table. So it's really about compatibility and self-acceptance. And like just admitting this is the type of relationship I want and then finding that feeling state of it. If I had that kind of a relationship, how would I feel? More than likely, it's going to be loved if it's like a true relationship. If it's like, oh, I would feel like I'm the king, this or that, you're still in your ego, you're still chasing butterflies. Um, so it's how do you allow yourself to feel loved? How do you go, I accept myself enough to allow myself to receive love and being loved? Because it looks like just in the near future, you're getting out of your head in terms of like that anxiety, overthinking, double thinking. But it's kind of like that whirlwind that can happen before you go, enough is enough. I'm not thinking about this issue anymore. I've tried so hard to repair this relationship. I've tried all the ways I know. I can't do it anymore. You know, or sometimes when someone like lets their anxiety run wild and then like they wake up the next morning and they go, oh my God, I can't. No, my anxiety can't be that bad. I can't do that again. That's what's going to come up in like the near future for you. Yeah. It's just going to be like this eruption of, whoa, I can't live with this level of anxiety anymore. Anxiety, overthinking, insecurity, like whatever it is that is holding you back from self accepting yourself to allow love in, you're just gonna be like, okay, I can't possibly be that unlovable that I'm not even worthy of a relationship my whole life, you know? Guys, I saw some guy's video that went, for all of you out there who say you can't get a relationship, I visited a lot of jails and most inmates have a girlfriend or a boyfriend waiting for them on the outside. They were like, so it's really about the vibration of a relationship, not about being good enough. Okay, so your personal power this month. Ooh, this is the good card. This is the bridge. This is like that ultimate kind of transformation. And it is one of those ultimate transformations where you have to leave one pasture into another. And so the reason why there can be a stalling point before you allow this in, and it's like a good thing that you want, right? So it's like, why would I stall this good thing? Some people can choose to step 5, law of attraction, and downward spiral. It must be my self worth. It must be some inner child I didn't clean up. Or you can go, oh, I get it. Once I cross this line from single to married, I'm giving up my single life. And there were a lot of good things about my single life. So it's, can you allow yourself to be that there is a sense of sadness and some grief about the chapter you're winding down? I really liked my single life. I liked not being responsible for other people. I liked waking up Saturdays and Sundays and doing whatever it is that I wanted. That was nice, but okay, I get it. You know, having the kids, making pancakes with them on Sunday, having a sexy wife there every day, like that will be worth it. So you got to start doing that, like, oh, I am like a little grief on that chapter. And once I go there, I know I won't be able to enjoy those things. Okay, universe, start showing me the things that I will enjoy. Start showing me the things that I will enjoy. Start letting me get glimpses of the future, of what am I going to most like about it. That way you can start getting into the vibration of it. So you've got to be willing to go through the transformation, and you do have to be willing to like intentionally wind down a previous chapter of your life. Um, and it looks like those around you, well, honestly, this isn't the nicest thing to say, but honestly, those around you are kind of like not taking you seriously right now. It's like the best analogy I can think of for you guys is like the player, the bachelor player 45, 50. I think I want a wife. Everyone around you gonna laugh so hard. They're like, what? You are always chasing tail. You know, so it's just those around you right now are just like not taking you super serious in whatever this quest is that you're going towards. So sorry, do they need to know anything else? Even though they're not taking you seriously, they want you to get love. They want you to have love. It's almost as if they've like tried so hard to get you to see the benefit of a long-term relationship and you've like shunned it away that now they're like, yeah, right, I'm not taking you seriously. But so even though they're not taking you seriously, they do want you to ultimately have love. So at least know that, okay? In terms of your hopes or fears for this month, listen, all I can say, like, look what you guys got. Hopes or fears, soulmate. End goal, life on earth. Look at those. So your hopes or fears would be, maybe God didn't create someone for me. maybe I didn't come down to live a life with a life partner. You just got that little bit of a grappling of like, what if I missed my shot? What like so that's where you're either in that complicated phase I talked about, like, oh, I didn't marry so and so, they were the one who got away. Oh, in my 20s I prioritized chasing tail instead of getting married. Like I'm now like facing my karma. Um, that's just not true. That's in the complicated phase. Instead of get to Satori, get to the third stage where you're like, I make peace with my past. I make peace with the decisions that that's what I wanted at that time. I'm now aware that I just want something different. So that means I'm going to start vibrating, means I'm going to start feeling a different emotional default within my body. I'm going to view things differently. I'm going to see things differently. So before, if you were that perpetual bachelor, it would be like, oh, girls are just good for fun. But now you're like, oh, wow, they actually bring a lot of joy, a lot of laughter. And oh, I saw how my buddy felt after his wife came and dropped off food to him at work, how much better he felt, more productive he was. Like, oh, wow, holidays are better. So it's, if you can get out of the complicated phase and into Satori, you can start to see oh, I just now see how that's right for me right now in my life. Okay, and in terms of your outcome, you're gonna make it through this transition. I do see there's gonna be that chaos, that overthinking for a bit. You're gonna like come full circle and like, okay, give me some more. Yeah, you're gonna come full circle, and all I can tell you is that when you do meet someone, it is gonna feel like destined. Um, because sometimes people, when they're older, especially older than 35, they can go, oh, it's not special, it's not romantic. But like, no, think about it. Even though you don't have that youthful, he was my first, we're each other's only, you don't have that. Like, how much more cooler is it to be in your 30s, 40s, 50s? You've spent that much time apart from each other, and yet somehow you've come to the same life conclusions about life, worldview. Like, how special is that? Now you get to discover the story of what led them to the similar lifestyle and worldviews as you. Like, that's pretty special. Like, oh, my babe was smart enough to choose to view the world in the right way for us to be together, and she even did it on her own. That's my little boo thing. Um, so it still is special. So the outcome is good. I'm not necessarily picking up that you're going to meet the love of your life in this read. It's more like you're going to go through the mental bandwidth to come to that conclusive, coherent decision of like, okay, I'm ready for that lifelong partner. So you're just going to have okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Um, and don't forget, guys, I go live Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time with free mini reads. So if you want help to get them in faster, come hang out or download those free goodies. I'm also available for personal readings if you would like them. There's probably a link for that in the description. If not, you can write a comment and I will get you the link to book that personal reading. But lots of love to you guys and good luck on this journey of recognizing that love is worth it.